Jesse. Giving news state by state for you. Breaking news! There's a thunderstorm in town today.
On January 1st in Washington, D.C., the Emancipation Proclamation was issued by Abraham Lincoln, stating that the slaves in the South are free. Months later, on March 3rd in Washington, D.C., the Union introduced the National Conscription Act, making men join the Army or pay a $300 fine in order to find a subsidy.
On May 18th in Mississippi, the Union Army began the siege of Vicksburg. Vicksburg was the last Confederate stronghold on the Mississippi River. In March, the Union General Ulysses S. Grant surrounded Vicksburg and marched his armies down the west bank of the Mississippi River. They crossed the river and approached from the lightly defended eastern side. They stumbled upon trouble on Capitol Hill and won that battle, then stumbled upon more trouble on the Big Black River and won yet again. They finally moved on to Vicksburg with a few less people than they started with, but yet again, the Union won.
But in other news, yesterday ended the bloody Battle of Gettysburg, with the Union on top. The peaceful college town of Gettysburg in Adams County, Pennsylvania, with a population of only 2,400 people, was disturbed on July 1st when the Confederate soldiers drove the Union to Cemetery Hill. On the first day of the battle, Wednesday, July 1st, Confederates headed back to Gettysburg and the skirmish began and quickly escalated between the 25,000 Confederate soldiers and the 20,000 Union soldiers. There were heavy casualties on both sides. On the second day of the battle, Thursday, July 2nd, at around 10 a.m., General Robert E. Lee ordered General Longstreet to attack, but he didn't get around to it until 4 p.m. that afternoon, giving the Union more time to plan and advance. The fighting finally ended at around 10 p.m. that night, but the Confederates still had a strong defensive line along Cemetery Ridge. The final day of battle was Friday, July 3rd. When speaking about Pickett's charge, which we believe will go down as one of the biggest charges in American history, a Union soldier said, and I quote, "The ground shook beneath my feet." This was the last major attack in the battle by Confederates, who blasted the Union with 2 hours of non-stop artillery fire. However, it wasn't as successful as it had planned to be. The Union took defensive positions on hilltops, which forced the Confederates to attack going uphill.
While we've spent time talking about the two bigger battles, Vicksburg and Gettysburg, we've yet to mention the smaller battles that had a huge impact on the outcome of the Civil War. The Battle of Chancellorsville, April 30th to May 6th, in 1863 in Virginia. It was a Confederate victory, and Lee defeated Hooker's army. Jackson was mortally wounded. The Battle of Port Gibson, on May 1st in Mississippi. There was a Union victory, and it was in the Vicksburg campaign. Grant defeated the Confederates. Second Battle of Fredericksburg, May 3rd, Union victory. Union forces under John Sedgwick defeat Confederate forces left to guard the town by Lee. Battle of Salem Church, May 3rd through 4th in Virginia, Confederate victory. Lee defeats Sedgwick. Battle of Raymond, May 12th, Mississippi, Union victory. Failed Confederate attempt to protect Vicksburg from approaching Federals. Battle of Jackson, Mississippi, May 14th in Mississippi, Union victory. Sherman McPherson defeated Johnson. Important Union officers killed in battle. Major General John F. Reynolds in Gettysburg. Major General Amiel W. Whipple in Chancellorsville. Major General Hiram G. Berry in Chancellorsville. And Brigadier General James A. Mulligan in Winchester.